Hello, baseball fans. Welcome to another episode of 6-Inning Stretch. He's Whit. I'm Lindsay. This episode is coming to you from the Sports Interaction Studio. And Whit, it is 8:30 a.m. on Tuesday, October, 21st, just hours after the Blue Jays, I can't believe I'm saying this, book their ticket to the World Series. You're going to hold the show. I have no voice. I got home at 3 a.m. No, I was not.
I bet you stink right now, too. I bet you got beer, champagne.
I'll be real. So I did not drink. I just got doused in beer and champagne in the clubhouse celebration. Anybody that watched our live episode would know that I don't drink because I can't handle my alcohol. But I have not had time to even shower yet. I changed, but I got in at 3 a.m. The elevators were not working in my building because the fire alarm went off like 5 minutes before. So I had to take my lazy butt up 16 flights of stairs, which, by the way, I stopped at McDonald's on my way home. I'm pretty sure they thought I was absolutely smashed because of how bad I smell like alcohol. So I was eating McDonald's, going up the stairs, and then I was finishing my work. So I have not slept yet. You're going to do what you normally do and hold this show down because I have no voice. Let's effing go with.
Well, besides the way you look and the way you sound and probably the way you smell, I mean, well, you're doing great.
You son of a bee. Oh, we have so much to talk about. Honestly, I want to talk about the celebration. You're going to talk about all of the baseball-y things. That's the professional term. I can't believe we're sitting here talking about the Blue Jays going to the World Series, taking on the Dodgers. I know that you mentioned this before when we were doing like the betting segment, that like Dodgers and Jays. But Whit, I'm going to tell you my 3 favorite parts of covering this series because thank you so much for asking me about it. One, they had a nacho cheese dispenser in Seattle, and I love that cheese that's so bad for you that you get at like a convenience store. I'd have a bath in it, and I've always wanted a dispenser on my counter.
Not real cheese, but okay.
Yeah, I was so happy. Two, clubhouse celebration. I'm interviewing Louis Varlin, who then does his bark. He's barking, and then all of the guys start barking, and they're throwing beer and champagne. I can't see. And I don't want you to correct me if it's anything other than this, because this is what I believe. If the players don't like you, they will not throw beer and champagne at you. I view it as a badge of honor. And then I look over after I clear all the beer from my eyes. It's Dalton smiling, like the biggest smile. I was like, you little shithead. He was laughing so hard because I could not see. And
as long as the beer can doesn't come at you, then they do like you. But if you hit with a beer and then a beer can, that's probably on purpose.
No beer can. And then at one point, it's just dousing me. It was just so fun to be part of that as somebody that I've been a Blue Jays fan for. And then you're going to be disappointed with this. Ross Atkins knew my name.
Why would I be disappointed in that?
I know
you're big time. You're big time in Toronto.
Well, I was just I'm big time because of you, but it's just I just do my thing. I'm there having a good time. And I go to interview him, and I just he's like, Lindsay. I'm like, me?
That's your name. That's your name.
Oh, yeah. And then it's just,
His name is Ross. Your name is Lindsay. My name is Whit.
Is it? Man, I don't even know. I feel like I'm secondhand. I was so glad I didn't get pulled over. I had my credentials. I had the video to show that I did not drink, but I would smell like a booze hound. Oh, my gosh.
What?
If I thought I might have got pulled over.
Did you say a booze hound?
I don't even know the terms. What do people say?
You need a nap.
I do need a nap, bro.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna go ahead and apologize to everybody. I'm sorry for Lindsay, but we'll get through it. I'm sure you guys, if well, actually, this will probably be released at another day. But
I'm open today.
If you guys were awake like we are right now at 8:30 on Tuesday after the Blue Jays won Game 7, and you're in Toronto, you probably feel and sound a lot like Lindsay does. So.
I mostly just feel like
and you should.
crap because of the McDonald's, which I know you probably only eat broccoli and rice cakes, so you don't know what that feels like. But
do they have poutine at McDonald's?
Bro, yes, they do. And if it games to Game 7, I'm buying you poutine from McDonald's.
That's embarrassing.
I almost did it when you were here for the live show. I was like, can you please bring him a poutine? But I also thank you for everyone that came.
That'd have been a good side by side. Which reaction was worse, me eating poutine or you taking a shot?
Oh man, I'm getting grilled about that and roasted so bad it's not even funny. I'm like, I don't care. I burned for 3 days after.
It's like you didn't even go to university.
I don't remember university.
It's because you call it university. That's why you can't take a shot.
I went to university and college.
You take a shot.
You're ridiculous. A fun random, like, behind the scenes thing is I was not going to miss that final out if it happened. I was also a miserable son of a bee to be around watching that game because it was stressful. Until George hit that monster home run, I was just sitting there. I was quiet. People around me were trying to talk. I'm like, I don't want to talk right now. Just let me watch this game, and whatever happened is gonna happen, and I will try to not cry if Seattle's celebrating on the field again because I've already been there and I had PTSD from it. But I air punched, like, downward so hard that I know I have no muscle weight, you point it out often, but I hurt my tricep, I believe this is called.
You celebrated by air punching
You're not
down?
allowed to celebrate in the in the media room, you know this. You grilled me last time, you're like, "No celebrating in the clubhouse."
What are they gonna do? Take away your credential?
No, they wouldn't, because 'cause I'm not a jerk face, but I was trying to, because I also felt bad 'cause there was Seattle media there, and that's heartbreaking, but I, like,
I'm just
fist pumped
trying to
so
imagine that. Like,
yeah, dude,
yeah.
yeah, it was so hard. It hurts so bad today, but I was not missing that final out. I wanted to see it as a fan, and just I don't remember the last time they were in the World Series. It was back in '93. I lived in Saskatchewan when I was little. So I wanted to take it all in, but I had to be down on the field and go the long way underneath the Rogers Center to get to first base. So, like, that's quite the trek, and it was just a hilarious moment, and I hope somehow there's security footage of it because it's me and about 6 other media, and it looked like we were in a track race. So I'm a little hobbit, as you know. I wore heels to try to be the same height as you in the meet and greet, but I'm just
Sneaky tall.
yeah.
Sneaky tall.
Yeah. 5'4", not sneaky tall.
You're not okay.
So I'm hauling ass underneath the background of the Rogers Center, and there's another person running beside me, and there's, like, this giraffe reporter who's 6'4" from the Canadian Press that just lightly sprints by me. I'm dropping everything and leaving it behind, but I made it on the field for the trophy presentation, and it was an out-of-body experience to
They should
be.
make a documentary about your game 7 because it sounds riveting.
Are you being sarcastic?
No, never.
Okay, you're being sarcastic. I knew it. Anyways, how was your game 7 experience, Whit?
It was it was good. I was watching on the couch watching it, flipping back and forth between that and the Monday Night Football game because I needed Jameer Gibbs and Rashad White to really have good games, and Jameer did. So that was good for me. But yeah, it was. I mean, kind of everything you hope a game 7 would be. Kind of really high intensity the whole game. Seemed like the fans were in it from the first pitch to the last. And even when the Jays fell behind, it seemed like the energy was still there in the building. So exactly what you want in a game 7. And then obviously George with you know the biggest moment of his life. I know he's won World Series, but I don't think he's ever had a at bat or had a hit or a homer bigger than that. So you know, pretty great for him. I'm so pumped for him and so pumped for all my buddies with Toronto. So I'm not gonna call them probably today. I'll give them a shout tomorrow and see how they're doing. But just excited for them. Excited for the city. You guys I do feel for Seattle too because I know
Gosh,
Seattle.
yeah.
It's they've got that little curse word circling their franchises. But yeah, feel for them. Feel for some of the guys in Seattle, but excited for my buddies in Toronto.
This segment presented by Sports Interaction Sportsbook and Casino. Every game is your game when you bet with Sports Interaction Canada's homegrown sportsbook. Whit, you know everything. You're right all the time. What do you got for us?
Yeah, I'm right all the time. And if you guys can look and see what I said before, if you listen to me, you'd already be in the green. And I also mentioned to do a couple things, put a couple MVP World Series MVP bets in. So I hope you did that because one of them's going to hit and you're going to be even more in the green than you are. But I think the good bet for now, the best value bet when you're looking at the whole series is I would take the number of games the series is going to go. I think it's going to go 6 games. And that's the value for that is at plus 210. So put in $100, make $210 on that bet if the series goes 6 games, which I think it will. And I think that's the best value of the futures bets right now.
World Series, baby. Sports Interaction Sportsbook and Casino has you covered with pitch-by-pitch live betting and easy deposits and payouts. Every game is your game when you bet with Sports Interaction. Go to sportsinteraction.com/BJN to open an account. This is in Ontario only, and you must be 19 or older, and please play responsibly.
Responsibly.
Wait, can I yell at clouds for a second?
Sure, yell out.
Okay.
I love yelling at clouds.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we have a lot to talk about. I need to bring up that home run in a second. I know what I'm going to say might offend people in general. I don't know what I believe in anymore. My faith was tested 4.5 years ago, and I don't know what I believe in, and I know that will upset people. But I've always believed in something, and that is kindness and karma. It is not that hard to be kind. And for the mother effing Seattle fans, the tens of thousands of them, I have not talked to anybody about this, that cheered when George Springer got hit in the kneecap with a pitch and then booed when he got up. I do not know what it feels like to get hit in the nuts, but I hope that's what it feels like today. I hope it stings. Karma is a biatch. You deserve this. And this was such an afterthought, and I know you won't hear this on any bro podcast or anything, but I thought of the kids that are there with their parents. How do you explain why you're booing a human being? Yeah, I understand he cheated. When he signed with the team, it was like, oh my God, are you serious? He gets booed at every at bat. But not only are you booing, your patriotic fellow American, this man did not murder anybody. You cheered when somebody got hit by a pitch that could have been life-altering, career-altering. Disgusting. And honestly, I'm still pissed. I haven't talked about it. We have a lot to be happy with. But this is karma. So suck it to the Seattle fans that did it. And I don't know if it was like Triple X or whoever that did that in WWE, but I'm doing that right now so aggressively if my arm didn't hurt.
Yeah, that was
disgusting.
Not the best example of being a human that I've ever seen. The Houston thing, look, I've spoke publicly about that whole situation, and I know a little bit more, I think, than the common folk does about what all went on. But George I consider George an extremely close friend. If that gives you a reference as to what it should be like. Again, I'm not going to get into the Houston thing. That's maybe for an off-season podcast. But to ever cheer against somebody, like in a way, you can cheer against them, you can boo them, whatever. But when somebody's hurt and somebody's in pain and something happens physically to harm somebody else, and you applaud that is just despicable. And it's very poetic that George was the one to deliver the final blow last night, and good for him. I can't wait to talk to him. And I'll tell you this, I know for a fact, and I haven't even talked to him, but I know George, and I know George's body language. And when they took out Wu last night, it gave George life. George was so excited that he wasn't going to have to face Wu again. The guy that first off smoked him in the knee, so you're already uncomfortable about the at-bat. And then did not have a good at-bat against him earlier. That was a big mistake. And hopefully, I hope that they made the decision because fatigue. I know he walked a guy and then gave up kind of a CNI single, ground ball up the middle. But to me, it looked like on video his stuff was still sharp, and he had you're about to face. This is your best pitcher that you have, and he's going up against the best part of the Blue Jays order coming up. I have said it about Gossman, the same thing. This was a little different situation, but you want your best guy in there facing their best guys. And I think that was a huge mistake. I think that they made a couple mistakes like that throughout the course of the series that ended up costing them. And again, it's pretty poetic that George is the one that hit it. So I was excited for that.
Yeah, thank you, baseball gods. I normally leave the families and wives and all that alone unless they come to talk to me. So I want them to have the break from the media and however they view us, but they're so nice. And I spoke to Springer's wife and his parents after, and I said, I've never been more happy to see a player hit a home run against somebody in my life. And I'm so happy for them.
George's family is the best. They're awesome. They're the best people. And Char's great. And I saw Char. They kept putting the camera up in the wives section, and she was going nuts. She was crying. It was great. It was so cool to see.
we were right beside there, so we could hear them cheering throughout the game, and I was like, "How are you guys not more stressed?" But I know when I was talking to a couple of them, they had a couple of glasses of wine, which I could not have during the game. Like, that definitely would help. But it was interesting, Kevin Pillar, former Blue Jay, he made a comment how that home run by George Springer, he thinks surpasses Jose Bautista's in the biggest home run in Blue Jays history. And I know that you are not an
Well,
encyclopedia of Blue Jays fandom and knowledge, but I'm curious, do you think George Springer's home run that helped them win the game to advance to the World Series is going to have more of a legacy on the Jays franchise than the Jose Bautista bat flip?
yeah, yeah, and but I'm not a Blue Jays historian, but I know
What?
of I know of 3 home run well, I know of all of my home runs that I hit with the Blue Jays, so
3?
obviously I know
4?
about those. No, that was I had a couple.
I know you did.
Just
I
more a
saw that
little
home
bit
run jacket.
just a little bit more than a couple. But no, I know of 3 really significant home runs with the Blue Jays, the Bautista one, the George one, and then probably the biggest home run ever hit, the Joe Carter home run. So George's homer is a legacy homer, game 7, go ahead homer late in the game to get your team to the World Series. One of the biggest homers of all time. It ain't bigger than Joe Carter's homer. It doesn't get bigger than hitting a homer to win the World Series. And I'm sorry, it just doesn't. So I don't think there's any franchise out there that has a bigger homer than the Blue Jays do. And now they have 2 of them that are up there. But um, yeah, it's definitely bigger than the Joey Bats homer, but it's not as big as the Joe Carter homer.
I didn't say that, so thanks for adding it to there.
Well, you said it was the biggest homer in Blue Jays history.
I don't even know what I said. I'm just bugging you right now,
Us
man. I'm
Okay,
still
hold on
on
a second,
party
hold on a
mode.
second. Do we
You're
not
like,
know who we're talking about here? We're talking about Joe Carter.
You gotta keep Joe Carter forever, the man whose house you could have went to for dinner, but you did not when you're in a golf tournament.
Yeah.
We'll go there and maybe tape a podcast together. Let's go to game 7. I know you're flipping back and forth. Bieber on the mound. For me, it was a treat. I love the chess match, though, when it comes to pitching. We saw Kevin Gausman and Chris Bassett as relief pitchers. For me, it was such a weird but exciting thing to watch them do. I spoke to them after, and Chris was like, George hits a home run, and then I pitched in the 8th, and I was like, what the heck is going on right now?
Yeah. So first off, I need to say this because I think that you, I've been critical about Schneider in the past when I played for him and the way our postseasons exited when I was with the Blue Jays. Someone put a microphone in front of me and said, "What do you think?" And I was honest and told people that I didn't think that he did a good job of managing those games. And I don't think it's a secret that I've made my feelings about the way he managed when I was there known. And so at the same time, look, and I say all that. I consider Schneider a friend. I really do. I love him as a person, and we had our differences when it came to his managing style. That's no different than if you're at work and you disagree with how your boss runs things. It happens everywhere. It's just where people talk about our bosses and the way they run things a little more than most
Mhm.
jobs. But you have to give credit when credit's due, and he did it. I thought he did a great job managing has really all year. And I love what he said when he was talking to Smoltz. Smoltz was talking on the broadcast about how Schneider has understood some of the stuff that he's done in the past and some of the places where he felt he could have done better and that decisions he made that were wrong and how he's learned from it and he's understood that he has to. I think the quote or the phrase he used was use his eyes more and trust
Mhm.
his players. And that's the in my opinion the perfect way to manage is use the numbers to give you information and then you watch the game, use your eyes and let your eyes tell you how players are reacting and how players are playing. And I thought he just did an incredible job throughout the course really of the postseason. I didn't really pay as much close attention during the season, but I mean, I don't think I think maybe you could argue like 1 or 2 places where he might have pulled Gossi a little early, or I know people were upset about the little move, but I kind of liked it. Like this is your guy. You trust your guy to come in and get the job done, and he did in that time, and so it doesn't look good. But I like the move, and so I want to give him credit that I thought he's done a great job, and I'm happy for him. I'm happy for the Blue Jays for getting to where they are. But yeah, the game 7 in particular, Bieber's a guy that like it doesn't really matter what's going on. He's not going to get rattled. He's not going to get. I think he got rattled about the nailer.
The nailer thing.
The
What
nailer
the
headbutt.
F are you
I think
doing?
that kind of rattled him, but he's got the perfect like mannerism for that. Like he's just a good pitcher, and he's gonna get outs, and he knows how to set guys up and get a strikeout when he needs to get a strikeout, and he gave up a homer and gave up a run in the first inning, but kept the guys in it, and that's what you have to do. And Gossie, you don't know how a starter's going to react coming out of the pen. You just don't know how they're going to do. And Gossie did great. I thought Bassett looked really good out of the pen. He's not a bullpen guy, but he could be. His velocity was up. His stuff was breaking. Guys had no chance off him. And yeah, and then another thing. Let me yell at Clouds for a second.
Oh yeah, let's do this. Let's go.
Yell at Clouds. You got to yell at Clouds.
Yeah.
Look. Everyone was bitching and moaning about Jeff Hoffman all year, right? Because he gave up homers and he blew saves and this guy can't be the closer, blah 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 blah. You pay guys to come in and get outs in October. You pay guys to come and get hits in October. Who cares what they do in the regular season? They got to do enough to get you to October, and then that's when they come through. Jeff Hoffman is a dog. Jeff Hoffman has had nobody's come close to hitting Hoffy this postseason, and that's why you pay him. So stop bitching and moaning in June when he gives up a homer to the A's to tie a game in the 9th. Like, it's okay. He's good. He's gonna be good. He's proven he's good, and he's your guy. You pay him a bunch of money to come and do exactly what he's done, and he's been a beast. And yeah, so I love Hoffy. So I needed to go on a little bit of rant about that because I hate it when people get on players and yell at players for no reason. So anyway, that's I guess my long-winded summary of Game 7. Good job by the pitching. Great job by the pitching. George is the man. Schneider did a great job.
Did a good job. Thank you.
You're drunk through the pores of your skin, and the wives had a great night. So I think that sums it up, right?
Yeah, and I did a good job. Thank you so much. I was talking for like 97 hours, and as you pointed out multiple times, I have like a Mickey Mouse or Minnie Mouse voice. I'm a quiet speaker, so having to scream and compete with the clubhouse music and yelling, and I was doing live hits. And this is like one of the most frightening things in TV is when you're live and you don't know it, which I'm going to tell you, I found out afterwards. They went to me multiple times in the clubhouse, and I did not know when I was talking to the guys. And like, I know them well enough, been covering them for a couple years, that like, you're joking around, you're having fun. And Hoffman, I'm just glad that you said that because he knows, like, I've not been a jerk about him. I've spoken to him post-game throughout the regular season. I talked to them when they clinched the playoff berth. I talked to him yesterday after. Guy was lights out. I was so happy for him in that moment, and I'm glad that you yelled at Clouds about it, but I'm also remembering my true third favorite thing that happened yesterday. The Ross Atkins things did make me feel good because I was like, okay, you see what's up.
Oh yeah, and I should give shout out to Ross too. He's that's happy for him as well. I forgot to add him into the list of
I go to
and Mark and just all the staff. All like it's one of the best staffs in baseball, and so Jose and all the all the clubhouse staff and just it's just a good group of guys, and so I'm really excited for them.
I'm so happy to be around this team. I've covered this team for 10 years, and trust me, there has been some grade A-holes that have been on this team or surrounding this team, so, like, you cannot help but root for everyone around this organization right now. And I know people call them Shatkins, Shapiro and Atkins, and they give them such a hard time, but it was so fun to speak to Atkins after to be like, those acquisitions, those moves that you made, everyone has stepped up and played a part. When they were giving you trouble, they'd all clicked, and he was just... I saw him smile. He was laughing, and it was just nice to see that moment because I never want their job. You're never going to do anything that is correct in the people's eyes, and it was just a fun moment. But wait, okay, so my true third favorite moment was I was singing "Oh Canada" with the rookie ice tray in the clubhouse celebration. He learned all the words and just is starting to sing "Oh Canada," and it's like, what universe am I in right now that this little rookie is just singing my country's anthem and just having the best time of his life? Like, that storyline alone with him, that needs to be a movie or Netflix show instead of, like, Love Island or half that crap out there. I would watch that.
I didn't realize Kid went to East Carolina.
Shout out to East Carolina.
Shout out to East Carolina. It's the number one party school in the country for year after year after year. It's not much to do there except get after it and go to a sporting game. So I need to have some story. I need to talk to Trey a little bit about some of his time at ECU. Is he a Carolina boy? Where's he from? Do you know where he's
I
from?
thought he's from Pittsburgh.
Is
I
he?
can do
Okay.
this while you're talking and you talk into clouds.
Well, he went to East Carolina, so I didn't know if he's from. Usually, if you're at ECU, you're either from the Carolinas or you're from up north. So
Pottstown, Pennsylvania.
that would check out. Yeah.
I think it's Pottstown, but anyway, Pennsylvania. Anyways, get
Yeah.
him on the podcast. You know people. We can talk about all your fun stories. It'll be great. Next man up mentality has been so fun with this team. We've talked about it all year long, and that is also something that Atkins brought up. But I laugh because Nathan Lucas tried to avoid me in the clubhouse because he said he'd let me interview him anytime there's clubhouse celebrations, but he hates talking to the media. He's a nice guy. But it was just so enjoyable to watch everyone have their moments, especially during this series against Seattle. I love this team, and Ernie is just a dog, but we've talked about him extensively. That's all.
Yeah, but how about IKF and Jimenez? I mean, they were the difference, I think.
They were getting shit on. Oh man, I don't even know if we're allowed to say that. Well, I said it anyway. So bad by fans and people online when they signed throughout this season. And I know IKF was late, and yeah, he had he had an error. Both of them, I think, had an error in this series, but they were clutch when it mattered. And just like Jimenez hitting back-to-back homers in, what was it, games 3 and 4 in the second inning?
Yep.
Like,
Well, look, and with their errors and stuff, like there's difference in errors, and then there's difference in like errors. Like when there's the physical errors, that stuff happens, and that's
Yeah.
easy to kind of overcome. The Mariners did a horrible job in the games that they lost of playing baseball, really, and just in general. Like you look at Game 6 and the ball Dalton hit in the gap that should have been a single that squirted out of Jose's glove in center field. He gets a second. Next ball, Ernie hits a ground ball to the third base that should have been a double play if Dalton's at first. Instead, Gino can't find the ball in his glove. It's on the ground, and he like kind of nonchalantly goes to pick it up and throw it to first, not realizing that Ernie can fly. Ernie's safe, and that inning they end up scoring, ends up being the difference in the game. And those are mental errors that always seem to come back and bite you in the butt. And it's like you look at the game against the Yankees when Barger dropped the ball that really probably wasn't his ball, but so that was a mental error, and the Yankees ended up winning that game because of that play. So if you can avoid those, and the Blue Jays do a good job of that because they're a really sound team and they play smart and they're a really good defensive team, and they run the bases right, and they have situational hitting, all the things that you need to do to be successful late in the season. They do a really good job of, and it really showed against Seattle. Seattle almost slugged their way out of it, but the Blue Jays were able to come up with one bigger hit than Seattle.
I do feel bad for the players. Like that would just be such a kick in the, Julio. So many of them seem like such wonderful people, and he was so excited to play in his first Game 7. And like, I know you've been there, you've been on the side, but like we lose, and it's such a gut punch. So I do feel for them. I don't feel bad for the crappy fans that cheered for Springer when he got hurt. But Max Scherzer, we did not discuss this. I love that man. He is so crazy. And I think I discussed this before with you, how like PR and everyone was so terrified for me to have to interview him or get to interview him during the season. They're like, he's going to eat you alive. And I think he's hilarious. Yeah. But there's so many videos from his start when I swear he's just yelling ham when Schneider comes up to him at the mound. But watching Ernie's reaction to the mound visit gets me every time. Him celebrating when Kirky rounded third to get to home and he's slamming on the dugout. But the fear the team has of him is hilarious. Because did you see when he, like, shoulder checked Pete Walker when he got in and, like, all the players dispersed? Like, what a psycho in the best way.
Yeah, and it's been who he is forever, and I think Schneider said it in the press conference. It is who he is. It's an authentic thing. It's not forced, and so when you can tell when someone's like putting on this like tough guy front, and
Ew.
when someone's actually yeah, and when someone's actually genuinely like that's just who they are. When they're playing the game, they turn into this different person, and that's I think that's what Max does. But yeah, I mean that's I talked about Schneider earlier. That's the big thing. That was the big moment I think is when he left able to let Scherzer in because Scherzer was cruising, and it's important. Like you can't your bullpen isn't just going to be come in and save all the time. It's not going to save the day all the time. Those guys get taxed and they get worn out, and that's what Seattle did to him. That's why those guys they've seen him 5, 6 times, and he's tired now because he's pitched a lot. And I know you have days off, but it adds up. And really, probably should have been Munoz in that situation for Seattle, but that's for the Seattle podcast to talk about.
The Blue Jays are going to the World Series for the first time in 32 years. I can't function. I was listening to you, I promise.
Yeah, I'm
But
sure you were.
Vladdy, MVP.
Yeah,
And
he is the MVP.
6 home runs, 12 RBIs this postseason. ALCS MVP. Emotional in the moment, helping this country get back to this moment, these fans. Just what you saw from him, like the more than $500 million man showing up when it counts.
You see the guy rise to the occasion, and that's what you want in your superstar. You want your superstar to in when the stage is the biggest to show up, and he has done that and then some. And that's a hard thing to do in baseball. You can't just will your way to being successful in baseball. You have to prep. You have to be in the right mind frame going into the game, and you have to understand that the game has to come to you. And when you get an opportunity, you got to be ready to capitalize on it. And he's done a good job of that. He hasn't tried to do too much. He's not chasing, a lot of pitches, trying to hit everything because he wants to be the hero. He's letting it come to him. If he needs to take a walk, he'll take a walk. But when the pitcher makes a mistake, he's ready for it, and he hasn't missed many mistakes this postseason. So he's just a great player. He's made some really good defensive plays. Base running, he's done a great job on the bases. The big play game 6 was the dirt ball that he got the third on, and Cal threw it away and he scored. Like that's a huge play. It goes from a 3-run game to a 4-run game, which is a totally different feeling as an offense when you're down 4 versus being down 3. So that was kind of the straw that broke the back in game 6, and that was all Vladdy. Vladdy just doing everything that a winning baseball player does. And again, that's why you pay him the big check, and he's earning it.
We know that Vladdy is a big deal. Everyone knows that. But he's also got his own big deal over at Pizza Pizza. Now at Pizza Pizza, you can get Vladdy's big deal, which is a 3-topping double extra large pizza for only $19.99. How big is double extra large, you ask? 18 inches, 8 massive slices, only $19.99 over at Pizza Pizza. And a fun fact, Vladdy told Pizza Pizza he loves cheese pizza. Don't wait, swing by Pizza Pizza today or order on the Pizza Pizza app or online at pizzapizza.ca. Pizza Pizza, because everyone deserves pizza.
I know you were busy watching football and other stuff and flipping between the series.
I don't want to sound. I'm not trying to sound like a Mr. Cool Guy. I just like
You're
I,
a Mr. Cool Guy. He was also golfing on a new course. You big time, buddy.
I would say if there was 250 pitches thrown in last night's game, I saw 220 of them. So I saw the game.
But in the series overall, do you find that there was a moment or momentum shifter? Because there's so many other theories, and I know every game is different. I thought the momentum switched every game, to be honest. But was there a moment or anything you saw that you're like, that was the shift?
No, I mean, like game 1 and 2 was just kind of dominated by Seattle. Game 3 and 4 kind of dominated by the Blue Jays. Game 5, kind of back and forth, a pretty well played game, and they just came up with a big hit when they needed to. And game 6, I thought the big shift in the game. Well, I don't know if it was called it was the one I just talked about. It was just
Mhm.
when uh, Vladdy got the third and ended up scoring. I'm trying to go through the games in my head right now, and it's hard to pinpoint the exact. I mean, I think leaving Max in that one game was huge for multiple reasons. One, it gives the team a jolt, but it also saves your pin a little bit. And I mean, honestly, I would
And gave us
say
some of the best memes ever.
when they pulled Castillo, I think that was a long term effect to that team because you taxed your bullpen more than they needed to be taxed, and it ended up coming around and biting them in the butt. And I would say if I had to pick one thing, it was when Schneider left in Max and Wilson took out Castillo.
I actually took your tweet and put it on my little iPad because I thought,
Yeah,
yeah.
I couldn't. I mean, game 7 or elimination game, okay, but when you're up 2-1 and you're only down a run and it's like like a fourth inning,
Mhm.
you're up 2-1 in the series. Like that was I still can't understand the logic behind it. I get okay. Well, he left a couple balls in the middle and got a couple guys hit some balls hard. Okay, well he also has a great sinker that has generated thousands of ground balls in his life. Turn double play, get out of the inning. Your team gets a jolt. You save your bullpen. Blah blah blah. They hit a double and now they score. Now they're up 3. Okay, you're still up 2-1 in the series. You got a good offense at home. Come back, save your bullpen. It's a long series. It's a bad move. It was a bad move.
The Mariners
That's
lose.
2025 baseball for you. That's the way we play the game now. And credit to the Blue Jays for being a little bit less 2025 than the Mariners. I'm such an old man. I'm such an old head. It's sick.
Yeah, you'd yell at people, "Get off my lawn."
I'm so old.
Well, I love it because Bassett actually tweeted something out. I wanted to read you saying, "As I'm sitting here about to go to bed, I'd love to" hold on. "As I'm sitting here about to go to bed, I'd love to sit here and give all my roses to George. The truth of this is that he simply is one of the best to ever play our game in my lifetime. But instead, I'll say it's a pleasure to watch the Blue Jays and say, old school wins. 4 more."
What a philosophizer Bassett is.
What I
But
learned
he's right. Like old school wins. I mean, look at the Dodgers. They just mowed through the best team in baseball all year because the Brewers were running out openers every other game and going through all these dudes, and the Dodgers said, "Look, this is our starter. He's gonna beat you." And they ran him out for 8 innings, complete game, 6 innings. I mean, I know they got studs after studs after studs, but
Yeah.
like as soon as they hit some trouble, they didn't take them out. Because they're studs, and they starters work through problems. That's what they do. Like you don't just out, walk, base hit. Oh, he's done. Let's get him out. That's not how it works.
No.
All right, I'm done. I'm done talking about that. I
Okay,
think I got it
okay.
all
We
out.
do have to talk about Dodgers and a whole bunch of other stuff. Um,
All right, so let's talk about ghosts.
oh, hey, so wait, again, look, wow, we're best friends. I have your tweet that
Let's talk about
co-tweeted
ghosts.
Teoscar Hernandez isn't staying at the same hotel as the rest of the Dodgers because his wife is scared that it's haunted.
It is
You
haunted.
quote tweeted it saying, "It is haunted just with ghosts who like to mess with you, not evil ones."
It is haunted for
I'm
sure.
gullible. Guy,
It's haunted.
what? Like, actually? Don't
It's
mess
haunted.
with me.
It's haunted.
Do you have your
So it's the
personal experience?
Fister. It's the
Okay,
Fister in Milwaukee. If anybody wants to go visit Milwaukee, some great golf in Milwaukee.
I'm good.
But if you want to go to a Bucks game, or if you want to watch the Raptors play the Bucks, or if you want to go and have some cheese, uh, I don't know what else there is to do in Milwaukee. But if you're ever passing through Milwaukee and want to stay at the Fister, go in. Don't stay on the renovated side. Ask them to stay on the old side, and there's a good chance you'll have some sort of encounter with something while you're there. It happened to me. I was there, and I can't remember what year it was, but it was I think it was no, I went to Milwaukee and played an exhibition game there before I was in the big league. So it was my second time in Milwaukee. But I got put in the old side because I did, and I don't know why, but I'm glad I did because it was kind of fun. But we'd heard about the stuff, we'd heard about the ghost, and there's a story. I can't remember the story, but I think it was like there's a lady who like jumped over the balcony and like killed herself or something something like that. And she haunts the thing. And there's this big like spooky pink dress in this like shadow box on the second or third floor. It's really kind of eerie. But anyway, so apparently that's the lady that haunts it. And I might have the story wrong, but off the top of my head, I feel like that's what the story was. But so when I was there, I heard about it. And so at night, like a normal person does, I turn the lights off and lock the door. And in the Pfister, I decided to latch the door too, just because extra caution. And woke up at like in the middle of the night, like 2 or 3 a.m. and the bathroom light's on and my door is wide open going outside. Yeah. It's unlatched and it's wide open. And the doors, if you've ever been in a hotel, when you open the door, it closes on its own.
What?
It closes on its own. It was open, stuck open. And I go and I close it. And when I, pull it, it closes all by itself like it normally does because of the weight. And then I opened it, tried to see if I could get it to stick like it was stuck. I couldn't get it to stick. So, ghost.
You know how you mess with me? Someone's
That's
messing
true
with
story.
them.
That's a
Come
true
on. I
story.
think someone's messing with them
That's
because
a true story.
great publicity for the hotel.
That's a true story.
I am so shocked that you believe
Why do
in
you think-
ghosts
why do
right
you-
now.
Why do you think? I mean, if you look at there are so many of the Latin players that will not stay in that hotel because there are multiple stories, and the Latins don't mess with ghosts. I thought it was kind of cool after I woke up the next day, I was like, I got a story to tell somebody. But yeah, I mean, it is, if it's like a one-off, like, oh, okay, someone's messing with you. But no, it's like there's multiple stories of people at the Pfister having things happen to them.
Terrible name for a hotel.
Pfister.
I was like, come on, I can't let that go, buddy.
You ever gone to Disney World?
Yes, and Disneyland. Can you believe it?
Have you ever done the ride Tower of Terror?
No.
You never did the Tower? You went to Disney World and did do Tower of Terror?
No, because I'm a baby.
Wow. Well, for everyone watching that hasn't been to the Pfister, imagine going to the Tower of Terror and that's your hotel. That's kind of what it's like.
I saw it from the outside.
Spooky bellman and like
yeah, like I'm not going in. I actually hate and usually will try not to watch TV during the month of October because I hate Halloween so much because you never know what commercials are going to air and it's always a horror movie or something. I'm like, great. I'm not going to sleep for 6 more days because I think somebody with a mask is going to come in and murder me. I can't even watch the Simpsons episodes that are Halloween based because they scare me and I'm not joking.
I'm going to put the Elmo costume on and come knock on your window.
Can we share a photo of that or at least discuss this?
Have I not sent you a photo?
You did, but like we'll blur your daughter's face because obviously we don't need to have her on the internet. But you have a giant Elmo costume. And I think this is hilarious.
Yeah. Well, she loves Elmo. And
did you do a voice?
I thought she would be more terrified of it than she is, but she loves it. And now she wants someone to come back and visit her every day. So
I think most people would be terrified if life-size, like 6 foot something Elmo was in their backyard and just shows up. Yeah. No, but that
she wanted Elmo to hold her the other day. And so you this is where Elmo's mouth is. And I'm holding her and she's like looking at the mouth and she kind of like starts going like this, like something in there. So I think she's kind of getting the idea that it's not actually Elmo, but she still likes it.
Did you do a voice?
Yeah, it's not good.
Let's hear it with.
You just talk really high, and now that's it's my Elmo voice isn't great.
Apparently, your Australian accent isn't either. Our Australian listener was greatly offended by it.
Because I said, what I say, mate.
You try to do an Australian accent.
How you going, mate? That's what I say to all my Aussie boys. Because they say how you going. They don't say how you doing. They say how you going.
Try to do a French accent, go after our French Canadians when I say the last time I actually saw you in person, we did the live taping. Everyone was asking about Bo, do you think he's going to resign? He said he's feeling great that he'll be ready to play in the World Series. When we actually look at this matchup, whether it be, actually, let's just talk about the unicorn that is Ohtani. I don't understand how that is possible, what he did and what he does. Like, what?
I don't either.
Okay, I'm like, you're my
I
expert.
don't think
Like,
anybody does. I'm not sure anybody can quite comprehend being able to do both things as well as he does. And I don't think people understand how impressive of a progression he's been as a hitter, to become a full, well-rounded hitter that does everything. Hits for average, hits for power, hits in the clutch, steals bases, runs the bases. It's to have the progression that he's had from the time he got here to now, is just, that takes so much work and so much prep and so much understanding of the game and understanding how pitchers are pitching you, and understanding the pitcher you're facing, and doing all of that to get to the level that he's at. And then at the same time, he's had to go through Tommy John recovery twice, rehab twice. And not only that, but now he's doing his rehab work, and he's working on pitching, and he's trying to, make his pitches better and work on new pitches and work on his mechanics and doing all that. Plus, like, it's mind-boggling. I mean, truly, it's like, I don't understand how he has the hours of the day and the capacity, the energy to do it all. But that's why he's making
all of the money.
bees of money. I heard that he deferred, whatever he deferred, and all that to get all the players on the Dodgers. And it's an admirable thing. Like, oh, he wants, he truly wants to win, and I think he does truly want to win. But I also heard that last year he made over $100 million off the field. So it's like, well, yeah, okay, I can defer all this money to later, because I'm going to make $107 million doing New Balance and all these different ads. Yeah, I'll be okay.
My friend went
Good
to
for him.
Japan, and they're like, he has a sunscreen. There's a skincare line. His face is everywhere on every possible product.
But
So
he
we
didn't
need to do
finish
that with you.
second in a game show in Japan. So I got that on Ohtani.
Yes.
Suck it.
You got to go back and do that other challenge they had, though.
I will not do that.
I will not
I'll
do
get
that.
squished. I showed you that video. I'll get squished by that guy.
You would have. I'm glad you didn't do that, because we would not be here today if you did that challenge.
They'd still be peeling me up off the ground.
The matchup, though, like Clayton Kershaw announced that he's going to retire at the end of the year. I know the hoopla that was surrounding him and Max pitching against each other during the regular season. I was here for that moment. But I am so excited for postseason. Do you have any Kershaw moments or experiences? Like striking out?
I dominated him in spring training. Dominated him.
Really?
Like, I was like, I don't know what the numbers were, but every time he pitched, I feel like I got a hit, or hit a double, hit a homer. Like, and then I faced him one time in the regular season, and first pitch of the game, he threw me a fastball in the middle, and I popped it up, and I just missed it. Like, hit it on the barrel, just a tick under it, and just skied it. I was like, I'm on this guy. I own this guy. And then he threw me that slider that he was, trying to mess with the spring training and get the feel right. Well, in the season, he's got the feel for it, and he struck me out 3 times after that on, like, he threw like the same slider over and over and over again, and I either fouled it off like directly behind me, or I swung and missed, and he just kept doing it, and I couldn't figure it out. And so, I was 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts off him in my career. Yeah, I'd have got him eventually, but never got a chance to. I'd face him.
Spring training, though, we got those memories for you, buddy.
Spring training. I owned you in spring training.
Suck it. You told Ohtani to suck it. Might as well tell Kershaw. When you look at this matchup, what are some of the strengths the Jays might have, and what are some weaknesses?
Well, I mean, so the Jays got the Dodgers can get a little sloppy on defense. I mean, I love Teo, but I think Blue Jays fans are well aware Teo can be a liability out there, and if he does something that, like the Mariners did, that can give you an extra base or kind of give you a spark, give you an extra life in the inning, you got to be able to take advantage of that. Besides that, I mean, Mookie's a Gold Glover at short, which is just another incredible resume builder on his belt. Like, the fact that he won a Gold Glove in right, now he's going to win a Gold Glove at shortstop, is one of the coolest things from a defensive standpoint that you can do, in my opinion. So he's great. Center fielder's good. Um, Kike and left is can try to make some plays, and I think he tried to dive for a ball against the Brewers that ended up costing them a run because so just like stuff like that you got to be able to take advantage of because you're not going to outslug the Dodgers. You're not going to good chance you're not going to outpitch them. So you got to find little ways to score runs and keep up with them when you get the opportunity to. So you just got to do everything right. You got to get on base. You got to move runners. You got to get guys in when they're on third, less than 2 outs. You got to move guys over when they're on second with nobody out. Like you got to manufacture all the runs you can, and hope to catch the Dodgers on a hopefully they've had like 10 days off. It seems like so. Hopefully that time off they'll be a little rusty, and you can take advantage of that.
Yeah, game 1 Friday in Toronto. But when it shifts to LA, what's it like playing in Dodger Stadium? I covered the All-Star game. They were covered a couple games. I obviously not a player in any sort of my life, but I love the view.
I love Dodger Stadium. It's probably number 3 on my list. It goes Fenway, Wrigley, and then 3 is probably Dodger Stadium. It's just so like immaculate, like the playing surface, and then it's LA, so the weather's perfect, and it's just beautiful. And it's a late arriving crowd. It's a late arriving crowd, but they're also playing at 5:00 on a Monday. So try to get to anywhere in LA at 5:00 on a Monday, and it's no wonder why people show up late to the game. But yeah, it's cool. It's the locker room is just kind of sucks, but it's old. Like I love the old stadiums, and get on deck, and you never know who you're gonna see in the celebrity seats, and it's pretty cool.
I'm excited. I can't
Not
believe
Julianne Hough. She won't be there.
But has anybody messaged you about that? You telling that story?
No. Her PR team hasn't reached out to me yet, telling me that I need to watch what I say about her.
I had people
'Cause I'm sure they're
stop me.
watching.
Yeah, everybody watches this. I had a couple people actually stop me before Game 7 to talk about that story, and they were laughing about it. They're like, "I can't believe Whit wrote his number on a ball." And they're like, "I bet you he's done that at least a dozen times." I was like, he shot his
Twice.
shot twice,
Did it
and he got a
twice.
shout out on stage.
Once to Julianne, once to my wife. And my wife, when we were married, I just did it as a look, I've been with my wife since I was 16 years old. And me and her, we've been great forever. And I think it's because she knew exactly what was going to happen. She had no problem with with the Julianne Hough thing. And frankly, like if she would have texted me or something, I really just would have showed my friends, and then that would have been it. Because that's just how it was. I love my wife.
And this Hallmark moment
Shout out to my
brought to you by shout
Yeah.
out to your wife, who I do think is an actual saint because I think you're crazy sometimes. Again, thank you for everyone that came to the live show. And
Yeah.
in that moment, though, you said duster to somebody.
Yeah. Mustache
I
duster.
am rubbing off on you as much as you hate it. That made my whole week.
I said it like in a sarcastic way. I don't know
No,
if you
you
caught
didn't.
that, but yeah.
No proof. No. But you know what? It's now time for Fans on Deck. And hey, Whit, I got home at 3 a.m., so I didn't activate the thing that said submit your questions for Whit. So all these questions are from me to you.
Wow.
I know.
What a fan. What a super fan you are.
I am. I'm such a fan of yours. Whit for politics president 2026? I don't even know. You're running for office.
2028.
No, we can switch the laws. I have full
2028.
faith in you to switch everything that's happening in life. You have that kind of power. You're persuasive.
I am going to the game on Saturday, so if I'm that persuasive and I can switch things, we'll win Saturday because they'll listen to me.
Question 1.
No,
How
we
sad
stink.
were
No,
you?
We stink. I don't want to talk about it. We're so bad. We're so bad. We're so bad. Yeah.
I get so much joy in this. And I think I told you there's so many people that will either stop me and be like, "Ooh, good luck to you. Whit's Gamecocks lost," or be like,
You know what's coming? You know what's coming next? Wake basketball had their first scrimmage against East Carolina, Trey's old alma mater, and they shot 59% from 3.
Oh,
and
damn.
in the scrimmage, and so Wake basketball might be back. I'll be wearing my
Oh,
Tim Duncan jersey, my Josh Howard jersey, Chris Paul, Muggsy Bogues. Wake's a powerhouse. We're
oh,
just
I'm
getting back
excited for
to
this.
relevance.
I am excited for this. 59%?
We'll get Dan. We'll get Schulman on here to talk about college hoops.
Get your dad on here. Talk about college hoops.
Dad hates basketball. Hates basketball. Absolutely despises it, which sucks because I love it. Me and my mom we sit there right behind the bench and we go crazy.
I think you know I love basketball. It's my favorite sport. So I'm excited to talk about this. And Dan sat in front of me, so we flew to Seattle. Dan was in front of me, and I was like, "Don't you dare recline your chair, Shulman." It's like, he didn't. He was lovely. What a wild thought. But second question too from fans on deck. I did this just for you because during the live podcast, you made a comment like, "I'd love to see you try to catch the fish in Pike Market."
Saw it.
Did not prep. One take. Also did not screw up what I was supposed to say, but it was disgusting, and I wanted to drop that giant-ass salmon as soon as I caught it. But hey, shout out to me, Whit. How do you like them apples?
That was sick. Yeah, really good job. Saw that. I was impressed. I don't believe that it was the first try or the first take, but you eventually caught it, and so good for you.
You only get one take. Third question. When you were here at the Rogers Center experiencing Game 2 with me, we were standing just in front of the dugout. Can you talk about that experience of hearing people shout your name when they weren't actually saying your name?
I mean, I got more people saying hey to me than I thought, which was cool. But yeah,
You're
I
cool.
forget how big of a market that Toronto is. So it's nice to get back, and it was it was great to see. It's always I love seeing my guys. I love getting together and going. I got buddies coming in this weekend to go to the game, and just I like friends. I like having friends, and that's why when someone doesn't like me, it really bothers me because I like friends. And so it was good to see my friends and hang out with them on the field for a little while, and sign some autographs for
Me.
non-binder virgins, true fans.
That's not what I'm getting to, Whit. Do you remember the moment where we thought, because yes, so many people were
Oh yeah.
stopping you, and I said, I'm like, you're Whit. You were an all-star when you were here. People like you. They also really like the podcast. But we were standing there looking out the field, and it sounded like this giant group of people were yelling, "Whit, Whit, Whit," and we both look over. What happened?
It wasn't me. They weren't yelling at me. I even went like, hey, and then they were yelling at Eddie, who was Encarnacion, who was in the dugout walking down to the locker room. So yeah,
Yeah, you're right.
always like
Baseball will humble you real fast.
my face started itching, like itch. I got an itch. That's what it was.
I was so glad to experience that moment with you because, yes, you are cool, but we both, because I thought, I'm like, that is so cool. I told you people loved you. I was like, oh, no, it was Eddie.
I have nothing to come back from that.
Oh, yeah, you do.
Embarrassing.
You had a moment on Twitter because we've discussed this. First of all, there's a couple people that hate listen to this and will send messages to my day job, and bosses trying to get me fired, including me doing a shot. I welcome you. I welcome you continuing to try to get me fired. But on social media, it doesn't bother me. I just laugh at people. I'm like, really? If the worst part of your
People
day
suck.
is a sports reporter talking about stuff, and I said shit on this podcast and hope somebody got kicked in the nuts, you have a pretty good life. But you're so good at silencing the trolls on social media. I have no time for this stuff. I don't view any of it. I have so many people that are yelling at me. I just don't see it. But you use dead ass in a sentence, and I don't even know how to use that or what it means. But can you break down this Julio Rodriguez storyline?
Oh, the trade thing?
Yes.
Yeah. People were like upset that I almost got traded to the Mariners and that Julio's name was thrown around, that he didn't get traded and I didn't get traded, but people are upset that it was talked about. So I don't know. Something I'm not sure. somebody like chirped at me about something. And so first off, like I take it, my daughter, when she takes a nap, she has to sleep on me or on my wife. Like that's just how she is. It's the phase she's in her life right now. And if I'm not tired, so I don't nap with her, I've got like 2 hours of like laying in the dark doing nothing. So a lot of times that's when I, kill time, get on social media or whatever. And recently I was like, yeah, let's look at some mentions. Let's see, because I never did that really when I was playing. And so it's become kind of a interesting new dynamic because now they can't chirp me for playing bad because I'm not playing anymore. So yeah, so I saw some stuff and somebody said something about I'm not sure. Maybe it was about the taking out Castillo early, but someone said something like, you know, I don't trust someone that we almost traded Julio for, something like that. They got mad at me because Julio's name was brought up in my trade. And I said like, well, you almost did, because I know for a fact that I had a locker set up in Seattle with my jersey hanging on it because I have a former teammate that was on the Mariners at the time that told me that. And I was like, whoa, that's interesting. And then when I went in 2023 to the All-Star game in Seattle, the American League was set up in the Mariners home clubhouse. I asked the clubby if the story was true that my teammate told me. And he said, yeah. He said, we had your jersey made and everything. Your locker was set right here beside, I forget who I was beside, maybe Mitch Haniger. But he was like, it was all set. And they told us to make the jersey and set the locker up. And then we set it up and you never showed up. And I said, nobody ever called me. So it's a true story. I'm sorry that it came out later that Julio was in discussions. It's probably why it didn't happen, because they didn't want to get rid of Julio. Probably a good move, probably smart on their part. But the trade never happened. If you're trading to the Mariners, why would you not ask for Julio? Because he's a great player. I was pretty good for a little bit. I think it was probably smart they didn't trade Julio for me. But yeah, I love Seattle. It's not close to North Carolina. It's actually really far from North Carolina. But I do love Seattle, and I think it would have been fun to be a Mariner. I think the Mariner hat is the coolest hat in the big leagues. Probably because Griffey wore it, but I just think it's like their jersey to me has always been like the coolest jersey. So that's what happened with the trade thing. I'm sorry if you don't like it. It's what happened. So
I laughed when I saw the interaction. I'm like, dead ass. What?
Well, he said something like
he said it. I just read it and I was like, what are
I'm
you
with you. I don't know how to
talking?
I'm not sure
6'7".
what dead ass like is, why that's
I don't understand anything.
Seriously, like I guess that's a different way of saying it. And so I just was being like, look, this is what happened. Dead ass, bro.
Yeah. Oh, I don't understand anything. There's a whole TikTok thing that will explain stuff because you said 6'7" last time. Like, I don't understand what this means. It means nothing.
I'm hip. You're not.
Oh, yeah. We already know this. We've known this for a long time, Whit. But I'm happy you explained that because so many people were then talking about this, like, what? He was involved in this. I loved Seattle's ballpark. That was my first time to Seattle and the ballpark. Shout out to you for your restaurant recommendations.
Did you go to the Pink Lady?
Yeah.
Or Pink Door?
It was the Pink Door, and then I also went to Japanesa. Yeah.
Some smacking sushi, and Pink Door was good?
Yeah, it was. So shout out to you because we went to a super tourist place the very first night that we got there. Well, the first night, I only say very first. And it was like you guys have, Costco's American. They took deep, like battered fish and just threw it on a plate. It was nasty. Nasty. Also, shout out to Swanee, who was in those comments defending you. I love Swanee.
Swanee's a teammate of mine that played for the Mariners, who may or may not have been the one that told me the locker was set up. So, I mean, it's not like it was, I think John Hyman or somebody tweeted that like it's about to happen. And I was sitting actually there's a bar in Kansas City where it's a dog park, but it's a bar. And so I was actually at the dog park with a bunch of teammates who have dogs, and we were having some beer and watching the dogs run around, and saw someone sent me the tweet and called my agent. And he was like, I haven't heard anything. I said, me either. So there's more trade stories. We'll talk about the trade stories another day, but I'm just sitting on my phone like this, waiting to get traded. Didn't happen.
I can't wait to talk about those trade stories. I can't believe the Jays are in the World Series. This is the best day ever. Wait, tell the people what to do.
Press the heart, press the thumbs up, subscribe, give us some comments. Again,
Jay's
if you
predictions
spell my name wrong, I'm not going to respond to you. And yeah, listen to us. What else?
Shout out to us.
Yeah.
Another episode of 6 Inning Stretch. Thank you for joining us.
See you later.
Thanks for watching this video. If you want more interviews, analysis, or Blue Jays news from the 6 Inning Stretch, make sure to hit the subscribe button below or watch more of our content over here.